Yeah, I highlight encourage you guys to give POI towards each other to make the debate interesting and yeah, to increase the engagement. So without any further ado, calling the Prime Minister here.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm just going to set my personal timer. And for my gender pronouns, it's she, her. For POI preference, please just unmute your mic. I will probably take POI if I have the time. Okay. Where's my time? Starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, do we want to live in a world where your opportunity of getting a better life is being judged, where you are judged by simply doing what you have to do, not because you really want to, but because it's what you have to do? No, right? We do not want to be judged because we need something, right? So what do we mean by normalization? It's basically not judging, because what's happening in the status quo, people that are sugar dating, they are usually being judged by those around them. They are being judged, they are seen as someone bad, and people don't like them generally, right? And sugar dating is basically like an adult relationship above 18, right? And they have consent on that, and they have agreed to the terms and conditions. So who is the vulnerable actor in this motion? The vulnerable actor in this motion is the sugar baby. Why? Because they are usually the one that gets judged the most, and they are usually from an underprivileged group, right? They don't know any better, and basically they don't have the money and the capability, right, to like provide for themselves and other. So what's happening in the status quo? In the status quo, sugar dating is like very prevalent. They can meet their sugar daddies from the internet, or it can be like they can know it from like their friends or something like that. It's like very prevalent in the status quo. However, people are still judging them, and judging them creates less opportunity, right? Because like they will cut them off as a friend, because they think that, oh, you are a bad person for dating, because for like dating someone for money, because it's like stealing. Basically, these underprivileged people, this sugar baby, are being judged like that. They are being treated the same as a thief, because they are getting a lot of money, right? Even though it's like fully consensual on both parties. So, and why is it like actually justifiable, right, to like normalize these things? Because firstly, not all people is going to do sugar dating if we like normalize this. Uh, Recognize that in the status quo, people that do sugar dating is like people that are really, really in need. Like, even though we joke around a lot, like, oh, I need a sugar daddy, or I need a sugar mommy, it's usually just a joke. Wait, is my voice lost? Sorry.
No, no,
Hello?
your voice clear. No,
Oh,
your voice
okay,
clear.
okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me continue. So why is it justifiable? Because firstly, not all people is going to do sugar dating, right? Because recognize that in the status quo, people that do sugar dating is usually someone that is really, really in need. It's not like normal people like us who only jokes around of like, oh, I need a sugar daddy, because we know that we are still capable on like providing for ourselves, on like providing for our family or something like that. People that do sugar dating are usually people that are desperate for money and like really, really need them. And I will later explain that in my arguments, right? And people also like know their worth. Like some of them like really don't want to do sugar dating because it's like their principle and stuff like that. So yeah, not all people is going to do sugar dating if we normalize it, if we don't judge other people, right? And also secondly, it's different from prostitution. Sugar dating is different from prostitution, because sugar dating is dating, right? They are supportive of each other. They will support it with even with emotion. Like at first maybe it's just for the money, but later on, as it grows, it will be more than just about like the money and sex. It will be more about relationship too at some point. So there's also an emotional support, and it's not just a single thing, like it's not just a women body being used, but there's actually like a timbal balik, like you are getting money, a lot of money, like way more money if you are like doing prostitution and stuff, and it's like very beneficial for you. That's why a lot of people are sugar dating, right? And so what do we look like? What our size, how our side of the house look like? Well, that we will advocate that it's okay to sugar date, and we will tell people on the internet that some of us that do sugar dating as are actually a very underprivileged people that actually need to do this. It's not because of a choice, right? Some of people are like that because they need this. And the thing is, if we do this, if a sugar baby is exploited, they will be more likely to speak up about the problems, right? So that sugar daddy will be canceled. Why? Because they will speak up more, because they won't feel like they are being judged. Moving on to my arguments, the first one being that it's the only choice of underprivileged people from rural area. So what do we mean by this? A lot of people are sugar dating because they need money, right? Because they need to. It's like their only choice, and we've seen this a lot, but not in a sugar dating, not only in the sugar dating form, but also in marriages. A lot of people from rural area, from like desa, from villages, they are marrying rich people because they need to, and judging them is wrong because we all do incredible stuff for money, right? And it's like, and also like sugar dating, notice that it's not illegal, so we have no right to judge them because it's like purely consensual, and I will later explain that on my second argument. Now, so basically it's like the only way for these people to support themselves and their family. So how will they be able to support their family, right? How this will actually be able to improve their family life and make them and help them to break out of the poverty line or the generational poverty. Because first of all, sugar daddy will usually like give you money to continue education, to go to university, which a lot of people from rural area doesn't have the privilege to do so. And when you get this education, you are able to teach your family about what you have gotten from that education. Your family, your sister, your brother, and your sister and brother will be like more smarter and more privileged than you because they have the education from you that you didn't have, but now you have because you have sugar daddy, right? And when your brother and sister are smarter, they will be able to like get into better unis than you because they are smarter and they will have more privilege in that, basically, right? And then you, as like the sugar baby, will also get like the mindset from these rich people. Then you will have a different mindset that can help you work your ass off to like the rich family or something like that, because we know that the mindset of a rural area people are usually like a mediocre life is good, or that okay, we don't need to improve our life because God is the one controlling our life, right? And the thing is, why is it exclusive on our side? Why can't they just get other jobs? Because it cannot really improve their family. Why? Because they get lesser money, right? And what this lesser money do? It creates job dependency. Basically, for example, if you are a petani, you only get like a very minimal pay, right? And then because of that, you cannot afford to go like to unis or to go to other cities in order to pursue your education because you're dependent on that job to live and to provide for your family. And yeah, basically that's it. And also like something that my teammate will extend on is basically freedom of choice. So it's consensual, right? They have the choice to choose that, even if like they don't need this the money to live, they have the freedom of choice, and that is why we are happy to propose. Thank you.
Thanks, PM. Continue the case. Calling LO here.
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sure.
Okay, wait. Wait. Okay. Wait, timer first. Okay, I'm gonna start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, first, clarify. This motion is not talking about why we have to doing these things or sugar dating or normalize of sugar dating itself. uh, why we should doing this or not, but we're talking about we have to support or rejecting this sugar dating itself. And another things that the OG already said about they wanted doing these normalizations to not get the judgment from the society, right? You should notice the background of the background of this judgment itself exists because of the deviation that happened based on this sugar dating itself, which gonna broke the value or effort the feminists already doing before. We already know that feminist movement already doing their effort to increasing the value of feminists, right? Based on this, when you normalize these things, you're gonna broke the effort. You're gonna broke those effort and gonna broke the value that already being good right now. And second of all, when you're talking about the in terms of economic, these things, this sugar dating itself, we're gonna help you to get the to helping you in terms of your school, for example. But we actually having another things, we actually having another mechanism, which means you're gonna get those kind of money or those kind of money to helping you in terms of or to support you in terms of your school, for example, by doing by having your own scholarship itself, right? That's the reason why these normalizations cannot be normalized itself. And you're gonna get another things without doing this sugar dating to get those based on economic itself, right? And why then the background of this why then these normalizations we're gonna create or increasing the laziness of you as sugar baby. And let's see the background of these problems, which mean that the normalizations of sugar dating culture faces a number of challenges stemming from difference in value, right? Molarity and social justice in society. One of the main problem is the power imbalance that exists between the older and wealthier party and the younger and perhaps less powerful party, right? Such relationship often involve exploitations and objectifications, where an individual's worth is measured by his or her ability to meet another person's financial needs, right? You as the sugar baby will be exploited to fulfilling the sexuality of your sugar daddy, and you as a sugar daddy will be exploited to fulfilling in terms of economic of your by your sugar baby, right? The normalization of sugar dating might exacerbate the problem of exploitations because such relationships often involve a significant power imbalance between the older and wealthier itself and the younger and perhaps less empowered party itself. This imbalance can provide room for exploitations where the financially stronger in terms of economic can exploit the poor yeah the weaker party economics or emotional needs for their own personal gain. Exploitation in the context of sugar dating can involve abuse of power, especially when an older or wealthier party uses their financial resources to influence younger people itself into doing something they may not want to do in exchange for financial support or security itself. Exploitation is considered bad because it involves violations of human rights and individual dignity. This creates situations where people feel forced to do something they are not comfortable doing just to meet basic needs or gain financial security itself. In exploitative relationships, individual freedom and integrity and dignity are often violated. And in addition, exploitations can also damage social and psychological relationships, creating a trauma, feelings of low self-esteem and mental health problems. It can also hinder individuals' development, limit their opportunity in life, and increase social and economic inequality itself. Therefore, the normalizations of sugar dating, which involve element exploitation, will have a negative impact because it strengthens and widens inequality and ignores the rights and welfare of individuals involved in such relationships. We do believe that if those sugar dating is one of your solutions to fulfilling your needs in terms of economic, it is still okay for you to doing these things. It is still okay for you to doing this sugar dating itself. But in the moment we normalize these things, it's gonna encourage people or influence other people to doing the same things and increasing the exploitation itself. When exploitation increases, it means people more frequently and openly commit those acts that violate the rights of others in order to meet their needs. Right? This creates a social environment where people no longer feel safe or respected in their interactions with others. That's the reason why we do believe that that this normalize itself we're gonna create another things or bad impact itself. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, LO. Now di PM ya.
She just told me that she's going to the bathroom. So can you give like a minute?
Sure.
I would like to reboot, starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Standing on my first speaker on freedom of choice. I don't think that the ones that do sugar dating is having they can't have that freedom of choice because they doing it by not objecting the law, of course, and I don't think that they're, of course, reaching the enough year that they're in. They talk about the feminism. Feminism is exactly why these underprivileged individuals are being judged. Feminism talks about you have to be independent. Sugar dating is bad for the image of woman because it seems like begging yourself to the man. This is harmful for this underprivileged women. Why? Because they are being judged for trying to stay alive. The underprivileged don't have access to the education that leads to having a good career. And also, they talk about exploitation. However, the exploitation exists on both sides of the house. Like on our side, sex trafficking and prostitution exists. That is exploitation. Of course, it's better because sugar baby will be more likely open up and go to the police if they're exploited. Why? As is my first speaker has stated, and when if not judge and will be more open. Thank you.
All right, thank you, DPM, for the speech. Now, calling DLO for closing the debate on opening bench. They're here.
Check. Am I audible?
Yep, you're on.
All right. But firstly, disclaimer, I'm going to talk about mental health, feminism, and women. So my argument is purely for this debate. Yeah. Starting speech in 3, 2, 1. I think it's a opening opposition. Our stand is very clear since very beginning that we do normalizing the norm, we do normalizing the sugar dating style. Since the moment that, I'm sorry, what is that voice?
Yeah, it's coming from observer. Can you like turn?
Kaito, can you please unmute? Sorry, can you please mute?
So who?
No, like I'm sorry, but like you need to mute because there's like background sounds from you. Okay.
By the way, DLO, I think better for you to restart the speech.
Sorry.
DLO, you can start right now.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna start this debate in 3, 2, 1. I think our stand as opening opposition is very clear from the very beginning that we do normalizing the idea of segregating is that because the moment that you are normalize the idea of segregating itself is the moment that you are going to encourage another people to do this, meaning that the huge number of people or the massively people will conducting or refers to segregating itself as a very first choice or a very first option to looking for job or looking for money, etc. But I'm going to keep OG from this debate because their argument is basically talking about how we are going to conducting or conducting or not conducting this, but they are explaining that how we are doing the education, we want to pursue educations or not. This is actually the argument is not actually in line with how the motion is, because the motion is talking about how you are going to normalizing that, the idea that why you are going to normalizing and how you are going to normalizing in the very first place. I think, but before that, let's engage to them. The idea of them, but they are going to normalizing it first because they got judging the society, meaning that they don't want to get judging the society when they are going segregating. But I think I'm going to break this by saying that first, I think the judging by society is going to be perfectly bad or good, because this is going to limit your action to doing something bad thing. Meaning that the moment the moment that you think you are good, your action is good, but is that the moment that society will harm by your action, or will seeing this action is totally bad, is the moment that you have a considerations within your action is good or not. It is the moment that the judging society is totally good. Second, their claim this is going to be consent on or freedom choice of people. I'm going to respond on this by saying two things. First, this action is cannot be determined, it's not being called as a consent or freedom choice, since first this is going to harming yourself, because like what my teammate told you, this is going to exploit you on how you are, on how, for example, the moment that you are going to consent with this, the moment, and also people will exploited your body, or people or sugar daddy, or people that rich people will see you as woman is not an people, but they are see you as an objectivitas that doing sexualization. They are not seeing you how the woman that who are working, but they only use you when they are need you for sexual and many other things. And they are going to talking about education. I think education is not really that good to supporting out normalizing, because look at how the government provide for you many scholarship, and all the many scholarship that exist, and how they are the moment moreover the moment when you are coming from rural area, they are more to focusing to you, or you can get easily and get scholarship and center. Second, they are speaking about how these people is coming from underprivileged person. I'm going to play this by saying the moment that you are coming from underprivileged person is the moment that you are doing this dating, this is going to be harming you, meaning that people will still judging you to be more harm. Look at how, for example, even if you get money from this, people will still judging you like you are poor people, but still get money from another or bad things in center. So the idea of happiness from you, the idea of like the idea and another thing that you claim as a good person is still going to be harming, because you are coming from underprivileged person, and you are doing bad things is not the line with the norm in society. And they are talking about the worst case scenario, like how they are still speak on internet, how they are still reporting police. I think the idea this cannot be achieving, because first, the moment that you are normalizing is the moment that people will claim you are lying. Because the moment you are claiming yourself, you are constant to doing this, is the moment that government will not going to protect you, because since very beginning you are concerned about this. So the another case scenario, the moment that you are getting exploited or you get hurting by this sugar daddy, no one regulation will cover you, because you claim this as a concern since very beginning. Second, police will even if you are going to in real life, this is going to be harm, because your job since very beginning is totally bad, and people will not claiming or will not covering you since very beginning. Okay, moving on my idea. Three things I'm going to bring in my debate. First, why the normalization is literally bad, and second, how the feminist movement is going to be lose the idea of feminism, or the value is to lose since very beginning, on how, and lastly is the characterizations of people doing this sugar dating. First, why this normalization is very bad since very beginning. Understand just the moment that you are doing this is for us is perfectly fine when you are doing this, just because there is no another way at all, meaning that you keep silently to doing this sugar melting itself. But the problem from OO is happen the moment when you are not going to normalizing this, meaning that the moment this you are not going to normalize this, the moment that people will recognition your action, or will normalizing your action, or in the internet there is like brochure, or how you can going to be you can going to be be a sugar baby, etc. etc. This actually literally bad, because the moment this is going to be massive is the moment that people or the student or a society will take this sugar melting as first option to looking for our money, meaning that the moment you are normalizing this, even if there is job vacancy, it's the very beginning, they will ignoring this, because they are pursue on this sugar melting is easily get money on how this sugar melting is easily get money, meaning that there is no effort at all. At least, like example, you looking for job vacancies in the very beginning, because this normalization is framing society, is modeling society on how you can easily get money, etc., etc. This is really bad the moment you are, for example, finish on education like SMA or kuliah, but you don't pursue on education again because since very beginning you are claim that sugar melting is get more easily money, etc., etc. So they cannot credit or credit or just point to pursue on education the moment that you are can get easily money from the sugar melting is very beginning. Second, the value of feminist movement. I think the value of feminist movement is already progressively and how they are creating woman is not objectivity that you can choose, or woman's body is not sexually, is not an object to consume, look on how they are pursue and how they are struggle to the value of feminist movement. Like you can get the same job like with the boys, meaning that the idea of value, the idea of the struggling from feminist movement since very beginning is going to be lost just because you as a woman you're going to sell your body to persons by reason that the money is now, meaning that meaning that the idea of the problem the money from a woman that's already struggling by society by feminist is very beginning. So the moment that you are going this is the moment that you are broke the idea or broke the value that creating the value this is very beginning, ladies and gentlemen. So the characteristics of education, but yeah,
Thank you, Deputy Leader of Opposition. Now to open the case in closing bench, calling member of the fair.
That's semi-audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, thank you. POI preference, unmute yourself. If I don't respond, please be patient. I'll give you time to POI. Okay. Set timer. Oh yeah, the timer. Okay. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. 3 points. 1. Opening debate is simplified what normalization culture can do and simply lack of engagement between each other as to how that they never really engage you to the case of to how that this actor can actually benefit from those, as to how that this actually clash to the value that already existing within the status quo right now, meaning that the opening debate is simply deadlock and cannot explain further, and that is why we as CG already won in this debate. But 2, we as CG will explain further to how that this will benefit the actor itself, but also how the current status quo is basically choking people with the expectation and fearmonger between the society as to how that we need to normalize this to as a way for people to live their way. But 2, normalization. What we mean by normalization in our case, basically the same as the name implies, normalize the culture people can do on a daily basis, goes with the OG already said. But 3, what is our goals within our case? Two goals. 1, create self-platform for 2 actors within this debate. First, the younger person itself, but 2, the wealthy person to do their things without being scared of being objectified or involved by the society itself. That is what literally the goals of the normalization of the norm of the segregating culture itself. But 2, to help a noble actor to fulfill their needs, it means that the needs can be looked as sexual relief, money needs, emotional support, etc. And we will explain later in our case. But before that, one rebuttals that will get to the opposition case. First, they get to you as to how that this clash with the goals of the feminist value, as to how that we do not want to objectify the objectify the body of the people itself. But notice that that is exactly what the goals of the feminism. It's up for you to have control over your body, to have freedom of choice over your body, basically the opposite of the status quo right now, as to how that it is being seen as taboo, as to how that all people, or we can see that within the culture itself, the women are being limited with the choice that they have, meaning that they suffer much longer itself. We'll explain later further as to how that it is simply not clash to the goals of the feminist itself, but to, in the worst case, it will not be significant to the feminist movement itself. More rebuttals will be elaborate within the art case. Now, what is the urgency within this debate? 1, segregating is becoming the problems as to how that it become a concern, controversial as to how that the status quo now is holding the value of the conservative value, as to how people are scared of being related to something that is sexual within other people that is not within the marriage relationship, as to how they scared of the image that they created will be bad for themselves. But because it is seen as taboo, there is no accountability that happened within the status quo right now as to how that the sugar dating can have the risk of higher being exploitation within the OO case, as to how that they are being perceived as taboo. Rarely people will actually help, but rather the trend that is happening right now, they blame the victim itself, meaning there is no safety net for the actor within this debate, and that is what we oppose in this debate. But two, sugar dating helps the vulnerable actor to achieve their goals. For example, fulfill their sexual thirst, needs of money, dignity, or image that is being created by status quo, or etc. So what we mean by the companionship or like relationship, it is basically the same as you rent a girlfriend. There will be a platform or place where they order or receive, or then as the check and balance, there will be people to be notified, or there will be under agency that will hold them accountable. That is what we mean by normalization, as to how that is being seen as something that is normal. There is something that can hold accountable, meaning that it engages to the case of as to how they said, oh, there will be exploitation as people are not equal within the power. The people that have wealth will have more power. But no, what will happen in our case, there will be a contract that will happen. There is a evidence of contract that can be held accountable. In worst case, as what happened if they exploit the younger people, this will be held accountable, as we already have the accountability and check and balance in itself. But to worst case of getting objectified, as long as they notice that this actor do this sugar dating in the very first place is to fulfill their goals, meaning that if the younger people want to risk the image in itself of being objectified, it is simply their way. They have the more urgent things that they need to do. And yeah, notice that the sugar dating is not limited to the woman. So the objectification is not limited to only to woman, but it can go all both ways, as to how that there is a sugar auntie, sugar mommy, etc. But two, same as for the older wealthy person to get the service, they need to fulfill the requirement created by the sugar dating platform or actor. For example, you can have the health check, background check, etc., meaning that it minimizes the risk that will happen in our case. That is what we want as the normalization itself, and that is what is not happening within the status quo right now. Now, moving on to the argument itself, three arguments that we'll bring in this debate. One, why that it will not create the normalization of free sex in itself, and two, will preempt the negative impact that comes to the next generation. But three, why that the alternative that is currently existing right now is simply not accessible. No, argument number one. Well, the scared of the opposition case is that, oh, by we normalize the sugar dating, it will create a normalization of free sex, etc. But notice that while the culture become normal, the people that join is simply people that have goals in their mind. Not everyone will join because they have value they hold within themselves. For example, people that is being religious enough, they will not join this trend. If the people that simply doesn't like in money or emotional support, they will not join in this trend, meaning that these people are is joining because they have certain goals within their mind, and after they get the money, they fulfill their goals, they can continue with their life, meaning that it is not something that is so addictive like drugs that you cannot get out of it, meaning that they just go into the trend or go into the sugar dating culture itself because they have certain goals that they want. But two, that impacted the next generation. What happening in the status quo now is that they being perceived as bad because they are engaged to something that is not being used by the society itself. But notice the perceived as bad created because people simply hold the conservative value itself as to how the prostitution is bad, friend with benefit is bad. Well, it's simply their way to continue their life. Also, you cannot simply argument that all people have the privilege to have enough money, have enough emotional support, have enough place to relieve themselves. Meaning that what the status quo actually do right now is limiting the freedom of people that have that choice. Flip the case by saying how that the normalization is actually good. One, it is a way to release stress. As to how that the status quo right now have the men more, as to how that the younger generation as being the men to be more successful, need to be married at a certain age, etc., need to excel in our course. But we believe that it is actually the demand that create this stress as to how that this trend actually become to place. But how to make it beneficial then? By creating a fair exchange as to how that young people will sacrifice their body or their time while the wealthy people will sacrifice their money, meaning that it is fair exchange. It benefits both of the side. Worst case, they addicted and ditcher school. It is not the something that we need to be scared of, as we already explained to how that it is different by individuals and individuals, meaning that if this actually happen, it is the problem to the individuals, not necessarily the thing. As to how the likelihood is more because people understand how important education is, and that is why we are very proud to propose. Thank you.
Thanks, member Gov. Now, member here.
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Gender pronouns they them. For POI, just raise your hand with the emoji and please don't make any noise. And okay, I will start my speech in in 3, 2, 1. Okay, judges, I'm here as a closing oppositions. We'll give a couple of rebuttals. First, from CG. CG say that the sugar dating is happening in our society, right? Okay, yes, it's happened in society, but for several people, right? Not a culture. But we need to know. We need to know that the other society think about that sugar dating, right? Okay, I will explain it about my setup before my argument, and then other rebuttals is from government side say that it is people choice, people has rights, they have a freedom to choose sugar dating or no rights. Yes, but remember that in our case as a closing oppositions, okay, I will give my setup first, right? In a conservative country, which is not all people believe, of norms, because norms is identity of the nations and protect the society. Sugar dating cultures, it can happen in a conservative country or liberal country, right? No one from the team before us explained that it will happen in a conservative or it will happen in a liberal, right? In a liberal country, it's can happen because people will open-minded, right? But when the sugar dating culture happened in a conservative country, it's difficult. Why? Like I said before, that in conservative country, which is not, which is all people believe about the norms, right? And in the conservative country, sugar dating is not a normal. It's a bad things from people in the conservative country, right? So when the government side say that it is people choice, yes, but remember in a conservative country it's bad because people will say oh, it is wrong or it is bad. It is not good in our side, right? And your parents also get the impact of the judging, right? The judging happens in a conservative country, and we know about it, right? And the impact is not from your side, but from your parent also. Imagine as a parent, you raise your children well, but she or him choose sugar dating, and you as a parent who don't know anything get harmed because of it, because the society thinks that oh her children's doing a sugar dating, and people in the society thinks that oh it is bad, that your children do is wrong, and you as a parents get the impact of that because but you don't know anything that your children's happen, right? It can break your heart because as a parent you wanna your child grow well, right? And okay, like in a conservative country is a normal things that having relationship based on love, and you have a couple because of you love him, for example, and then you married and you do a sexual relationship and then you have a children. That is normal things that happen in a conservative country, right? But sugar dating is do like a sexual relationship first maybe, and you may not marry with your sugar daddy, for example, and it is difficult to conservative country that accept that culture, right? Okay, sugar dating is a culture in emotions, right? Cultures is a habit, a community habit that all people will do it, right? In our side, why it is sugar daddy is bad? Okay, maybe will already say that it is easily to get money, and it will have the social environment impact, social environment bad impacts. And I, as a CEO, will explain it again in our side why it is in our side that the culture is it bad to normalize, right? Okay, it is make
people addicted about it, right? Imagine that in a country, people not work and just do a sugar dating to fulfill their needs. No love, no commitment, just do a sugar dating relationship. It is bad for the society of the countries. For example, there is a comparison between a woman and man population in the country, right? Imagine that a man is only 40% and the woman is 60%. And imagine that the man who is sugar daddy, for example, he worked to earn more money to get a sugar baby, for example, and the woman who are sugar baby, they want to fulfill their needs to the sugar daddy. You know that there is comparisons that makes the woman will compete with other women to get the sugar daddy to fulfill their daily needs, and that is a bad for this society life, right? Okay, when they okay, government side say that okay, there's a benefit of sugar dating, for example, money or lifestyle, for examples. Okay, as a woman, we can earn our money, right? We can work, we can do work, not just do a sugar dating. You can do work by yourself, you can get job by yourself to fulfill your life, to fulfill your daily needs, right? Why okay, there's several reasons that the sugar baby choose a sugar dating. For example, for the lifestyle, they have a hedonic lifestyle, for example, and to fulfill it, you need to a sugar dating, for example. This is wrong with and just to fulfill the lifestyle, and you need to sexual relations with other people. And in our set, that is foolish, because you can work by yourself to fulfill your own lifestyle. It's just lifestyle is based on yourself, right? And you need to fulfill your lifestyle, not just doing a sugar dating, right? And I will bring an argument first is love is important. Why love is important? Because love is having a basic things to having a relationship, right? Without love, we don't have a commitment. It is difficult to trust someone. Imagine you have a children for your sexual relationship with your sugar daddy, for example, and you don't have a love with your children. You just don't care about your children because of it, and we don't want that to happen in our side, right? It's conservative country. It's a difficult to agree with that culture because they think that it is bad and is proud to propose. Thank you.
Right, thank you, member of for that speech. To close the whole case from government bench, calling government whip here.
Okay, am I sejelas?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, wait. Let me set up my timer. Wait. Wait. Where is it? Oh, wait, it's this one. Oh, it's this one. Okay, pronounce he/him, POI preference, just wait, just unmute yourself. And okay, I'm gonna start my speech in 3, 2, and 1. 4 points that I will brought to this debate. First, opening and general comments. Second, characterization. Third, rebuttals. And fourth, reiteration to our case. First, general comments. Okay, let's look at each team's performance in this debate. Opening here is they don't engage each other very well. Their argument becomes deadlock at the end of the day. While in here, in CO, the CO case in here tends towards the worst case scenario rather than the most likely scenario to happen here. And then, before I move on to my rebuttal of each team's arguments, I will help to recharacterize to help in this debate. In here, sugar dating has benefits two people because they both are doing it out of their own consent. The two people that are doing sugar dating are doing it out of their own consent. Sugar dating here act as the pathway to connect two people, which will be hard to connect in real life by having a relationship. Now, in here, sugar dating does this by bypassing the hardship of making a connection which is considered taboo in the first place. Now, this orients to the benefit of both people, where the older guys, older women and stuff like that, gets what he or she wants in the relationships, the relationship form, and the younger person gets what he or she wants in the deals, like money and materials and stuff like that. Now, so the basis of what makes this relationship exist in the first place is that this will be out of consent and not forceships. And so with the normalization of sugar dating, we can achieve a relationship that is similar to a normal relationship in real life without any backlash from the society view. The capacity of sexual abuse here is also no more than what can happen in the normal relationship, because in here, sugar dating is based on a strict contract that both people agree to it, they consent to it. And even if there is a breach in the contract, the victim can take it and to the court to punish the ones that is breaching it, the perpetrator, because here you can have a legal contract to back up your claim. This is even healthier than the normal relationship, because at the end of the day, the victim here have the safety net if anything happened to them, leading to why we propose these new motions. Continuing on to my rebuttals. First, OG. In here, OG takes the narrow assumption that people doing sugar dating is only doing it in money as the only way to make a living in their life. This is wrong, because at the end of the day, sugar dating can still happen. You don't need to be poor to do it. You can just do it to get money as a snack, snack money, just to a money to help you in your to fulfill what you want, not as the money to help you live your life. So at the end of the day, OG assumption here in this debate is misleading, ladies and gentlemen. And then to OO in here, OO talks about a feminist movement, which we don't really understand, because feminist movements in the real world supports free choice for women. So the basis for the feminist movement by OO here is kind of weird, because if you support the free choice of women, wouldn't you support this motion at the end of the day? And so also, OO says exploitation can happen in sugar dating because of imbalance in power. This while true, it is still less likely to happen because the exploitation or sexual abuse here can only happen if there is a breach in the contract, in the reasons why you started this sugar dating. And the consequences that will happen here will be no different than what happened in normal relationship. Why? Because if you breach the contract, or if you breach the rules in which why you set up this sugar dating, then you cannot put you can put them to court to avenge it. Also, with this normalization, societal consequence here will be no different than what happened in normal relationship, because which is rejection and backlash to the breacher of the contract. It was at the same amount of negative consequences at the end of the day. But in here, sugar dating have the benefit that it benefit the wants and needs of both people doing the sugar dating, rather than compared to normal relationship in here. And Also, by normalizing sugar dating, you have the free choice to either choose sugar dating, or if you want to try and got a job to find money, as CO actually says here, because this relationship is kind of the same with a real life job. But in here, with the normalization of sugar dating, you have the free choice to do it. You are not forced to do it at the end of the day. And no, or also here is cherry picking the bad stuff. Why? Because sugar dating can they say how sugar dating can make you get easy money. This assumption is no different than comparing it to prostitution at the end of the day. This is wrong. Why? Because sugar dating in here only happens because both sides are consenting to it. You are not getting an like easy money. Because why? Wait. Because it is simply not easily accessible. Understand, to get into this what is it called, sugar dating, you need to fulfill a certain requirement. You are tall, you are good looking, at the very least you need to finish high school, and this is the prerequisite to getting it at the end of the day. So this assumption that you can make easy money is at the end of the day not very correct. And then to CO, wait, where is it? Where is my sheet? Oh, okay. They argue that conservative countries, and in here we argue that the conservative countries in their argument here is not really relevant because this motion will normalizes it. But even if we engage this CO debate, now, even if you do get the judging from the society in the conservative ones, in here, it is still okay because at the end of the day, sugar dating is deliberately done by the actor to their own knowledge. They know the risk and they accept it. At the end of the day, this is only the worst case scenario. Normalization here will help neutralize and or diminish the conservative country. This is at the end of the day why normalization is needed to help the people that want to do it. And so wait. Okay, and so sugar dating, they say sugar dating here have a hedonistic lifestyle. This is not true because at the end of the day, you don't need to live a hedonistic lifestyle to start sugar dating, because the start to sugar dating is only based on consent of both sides. And so to reiterate, why the arguments in why our argument is the one that wins the debate. We rebuted opposition argument as to this motion goes against the feminists. It doesn't. In fact, we prove why this motion would help feminist movement, while also our argument in this debate is also better than OG because we discussed the worst case scenario of the sugar dating and tackling it, while also not limiting sugar dating to a narrow point of view, while also tackling opposition argument in my first speaker argument, like how Oppo argues that this motion makes younger people ditch schools, in which we answer it is not likely to happen because at the end of the day, people understand the importance of education. Notice that the prerequisite at the very least is to get this job is to oh wait, am I done? Okay, thank you very much. We are proud to propose.
All right, thanks, thanks, Gavwip, to close the whole case, calling Gav, opposition will be perfect.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sure.
Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, first, I would like to disclaimer my if there's a sensitive issues and also sensitive pronunciations that only for debate purpose. Second is maybe I will accept one POA from government bench just in 5 minutes after my speech is finished. Now, I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Judges, this motion is this House would normalize the norm of sugar dating cultures. We means that we have to highlight two words in here: is normalize the norm. Second is sugar dating cultures. We as the closing opposition analyze that the government benches should be lost in this debate because of why? Because first is from opening government. She said that no one have a right to judge people. No one have a right to judge people. But here, the people will judge you if you do something harm, and also something break out the norm of the society. That's why we don't support the normalize the sugar dating stuff. Second is about the economic reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the government failed to define who is the actor of the sugar dating culture. For example, the younger woman's characterization. For example, it start from a junior high school until a college student. There is no limitation the age of the younger woman itself. Second is about the sugar daddy. Sugar daddy is for example, is a husband who has a married, and also but he cannot fulfill his own sex with his couples. There's no enough definition that's coming toward from the opening government. Second is, and the third is about the relationship. Also, they believe that the relationship is a beneficial each other. The sugar daddy will getting a sex from the younger woman, and also the younger woman will getting the money from the sugar daddy itself. It's totally wrong, because the government's duty, the government's rule is to protect the society from any kind of the harm for himself or for herself, because sugar dating activities. Now going to the closing government. Closing government want to make this kind of the prostitution smoothly, because by saying that if you done a social contract such as informed consent between younger women and also sugar daddy, that's enough to protect yourself from any kind of exploitation. It's not just only exploitation, but it's also the kind, or also the new meta of the human trafficking. Why the human trafficking is up? Because you sell yourselves and you getting the money. Because, for example, younger women, they are labil, they are not, they have their own ego. They cannot do wisely thinking. They cannot do problem solving like an adult. That's why they need the parent consent before they doing sugar dating itself. That's not touched by the government side of the house. Now going to the opening opposition. I think opening opposition has been tackled all of the government all of the government point, but here we bring a new extension. First, why we don't want to normalize this sugar daddy dating culture. First, it will be create human trafficking by human trafficking with a new way of the kind of the prostitution. Why human trafficking is very bad in here? Because the government let the society, for example, broke the law that created by the government. Prostitution is the old cases that the government want to protect the society from any kind of the harm. For example, first, the increase of the cases of the abortion because of the prostitution. Second, increase of the HIV virus because the prostitution activities. And the last is very important, is there is no money can pay the women except until the end of the day. Even the sugar daddy giving you a car, even this sugar daddy buying you a house or something like that. That cannot replace of your virginity in here. Second is about it will indirectly support the government, indirectly support and also teach the society to accept the sugar dating culture as the normal culture. That's very dangerous in the conservative countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, who already protect their norm from sin in the past until the end of the day, because they are conservative country. They have to protect the good thing into society. And the third point is, it's not necessary for the younger woman. It's not the responsibility to getting money, but it's parent responsibility. For example, for example, Bunga is a senior high school. So the Bunga is coming from the poor or lower economic family, but Bunga also has a parent. The parents should be working to fulfill their economic and also for the education of the girl itself. It's not the responsibility of the Bunga. Second is about if the parent can fulfill, it should be the government responsibility. For example, by giving a scholarship for Bunga, better than let Bunga selling herself for a sugar daddy. And then third point is very important, is a moral and also the duty of the government to protect the society from any kind of the risk and also a bad thing that because we normalize sugar dating itself. And the sixth point is about if we normalize the sugar dating, it will be increase the criminalization in our society. First is about of course prostitution, because the sugar dating in the liberal country such as for example United States, United Kingdom, or etc., it causes cases of human trafficking, because the government can control it, because in the more cases it's illegal doing by younger women and also sugar daddy. So the law can protect them from any kind of the risk itself. Second is if the prostitution happen, it will increase the number of the abortions. Habis ya? So that's why we oppose this motion. I close my case. Thank you.
All right, thanks, opposition whip for the speech. By the way, guys, I'm going to say it right now. I'm so sorry. I cannot give you like a complete oral education. What I mean by this is like a four-way analysis. Is I'm like fourth rank to first, second, and first, and then third rank to second and also first. I couldn't like give that to you because suddenly my lecturer giving like some assignment to me to present it tomorrow. I think that this not normal, yeah. But in my jurusan, this kind of thing is normal because my docent is more like is a bit nocturnal, to be honest. But I will give you my oral education in the way like this, like fourth into third, third into second, second into first. And in additional, because I don't want it to be like that, I'm going to give you I also going to give you why first got first and fourth got fourth. In the meantime, please wait for 5 minutes and I will give you my oral education. Yeah. That's yeah. Fun fact, my dosen told me biasa dia bilang gini, ya Mas itu nggak pernah tidur, Mas itu hari ini nggak tidur loh. I mean like wow, that's crazy, but yeah, no, dosen thinks I don't know about that things. Yeah.
What the hell? Nggak tidur, astaga naga.
Gimana sugar daddy?
Yeah, I need sugar daddy after this speech. After this debate, sorry.
BTW katanya Indonesia ini termasuk 5 besar tertinggi di Asia. Katanya.
Wah guys, itu sebuah prestasi. Kita harus bangga. Indonesia, ya.
Aku tadi lupa loh bahwa characterization younger women reason tuh sometimes it's not coming from the poor economic, but in the fact that they are rich but they want more.
Iya, kadang begitu. Aku juga lupa ngomong itu sih. Astaga, ada PP-nya. Ada PP, ada background-nya. Lupa. Ah. Oh yeah, little Catio. Where are you from? I forgot, sorry.
Aku dari itu satu kampus sama Firas dari ULM.
Oh my God. Oh, kalian satu kampus. Wow.
Benar.
Karena kayak aku sering lihat Little Catio, tapi aku nggak nyangka bakal satu kampus.
Oh, halo.
Aduh.
Tapi kalian udah kenal dari lama kah? Atau
Aku sama Firas udah kenal dari semester 1. Ya nggak, Firas?
Iya. Tapi sekarang aku balik lagi ke semester 1. Kalau habis masih semester 3 sekarang. Iya, pindah jurusan. Wait.
pindah jurusan dari mana? Dari mana ke mana?
Oh, itu apa? Kalau itu kan kalau aku itu awalnya itu yang 1 tahun lalu itu di jurusan teknik lingkungan. Nah, habis itu aku itu pindah jurusan pas yang sekitaran waktu pendaftaran SBMPTN lah, sekitaran pas itu pindah jurusan ke teknik informasi. Nah, itu alasannya itu karena out of the box sih sebenarnya, karena itu orang tua aku itu kan karena aku kuliah di jurusan teknik lingkungan itu kan di luar kota. Nah, kalau aku kuliah di teknik informasi itu kuliahnya satu kota sama orang tua. Jadi mereka suruh aku pindah. Nah, begitu.
Astaga. Oke, itu out of the box sih.
Ya makanya out of the box sih. Tapi itu enggak terlalu berpengaruh sih, tapi alhamdulillahnya kan masih satu fakultas, masih teknik juga. Cuman itu beda tempat aja, alhamdulillahnya.
Enggak, nanti
Oh, I see.
out of the box lagi kan, kamu misalnya di TI, lulusnya TI, terus kerjanya nanti jadi sesuatu yang di luar pada TI.
Anjir. Kayak itu apa? Tapi masuk akal masih. Apa kalau misalnya apa kerjanya di teknik kan, tapi nanti kerjanya di kuliahnya di teknik, tapi nanti kerjanya di bank. Nah, itu masih masuk akal tapi
Iya, kita pasti beda-beda kan entarnya ke sana. Kita nggak ada yang tahu. Kita nikmati saja. Nah,
jalan kehidupan selalu berputar. Apa?
ya,
Kehidupan selalu berputar. Nah, itu.
selalu berjalan.
Ya itu. I forgot the quotes. Itu quotes mana ya itu ya? Lupa juga.
Nggak ada yang separah aku kayaknya plot twist-nya. Aku passionnya sama kayak kamu, IT juga, tapi kuliahnya perawat, terus kerjanya sipir. Kayak jauh banget.
Masuk akal sih, tapi itu bukan masuk akal sih. Masih alhamdulillah aja itu masih bisa masih
Hidup.
gitu.
Ya, masih belum butuh sugar daddy atau sugar mommy.
Wala.
Alhamdulillah. Ayo kita bersyukur.
It does though. But like, yeah, it does though. It does. It's still kind of hard to get like sugar mommy though.
Cari aja di internet.
Cari di Tinder.
Tapi kayaknya yang high demand itu nggak sih? Kayak sugar daddy yang suka sama cowok. Kayak itu high demand sih. Kayak gampang untuk dapetin sugar daddy kalau kita suka sama cowok. Maksudnya kayak kalau misalnya cowok suka sama cowok gitu.
Waduh.
Apalagi di Indonesia, ya enggak sih? High demand.
Itu agak berbahaya tapi.
ya kita bilang aja kayak, oh aku nggak mau berhubungan intim karena nunggu nikah gitu aja.
Oh, sebentar. Wait, I don't understand. Jadi ini mekanisasi relationship-nya ini gimana ini?
Jadi kayak apa ya? Kita pertama bikin janji palsu dulu kayak ntar kita nikah di negara lain ya, kita pindah gitu. Terus kita bilang kita nggak mau berhubungan intim sampai nikah gitu. Kan cowok sama cowok. Nah, terus sebelum nikah putus deh. Kita udah dapat uangnya banyak.
Oh, wah itu itu penipuan enggak sih?
Enggak kan?
Enggak, kalau yang namanya dating tuh gimana sih?
Kenapa?
Dating. Kalau zaman aku dating dulu kan cukup ketemu, boncengan, pegangan tangan, dah gitu aja. Kalau sekarang kan nggak tahu dating.
Iya, sekarang juga kayak gitu sih. Normalnya ya. Cuma kalau sugar daddy kan biasanya mau berhubungan intim, apalagi sama cowok. Kalau cowok sama cowok.
Aku juga lupa. Selain backgroundnya ekonomiknya itu juga biasanya characterization-nya tuh with body goal juga. Misalnya dia model atau something like that lah.
Tadi kayak si Jip bilang itu deh. Aku forgot.
Ya. Ya bagus juga sih characterization-nya gitu. Sampai lupa nerima PUE.
Oh.
Check. Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
All right. Cool. So I'm going to so I have three structure in my oral education. First, about the general comment. Second, ranks, and also, lastly, the reason behind my ranks, who is not going to be as complete as before, because I have another things to do because of my lecturer. But okay, first about general comment. I have one general comment that I think that in this debate we would like to talk about another actor. I think that in this motion there is four actors that you need to that you need to explain or even like that you need to protect. But unfortunately, most of the team is only talking or only try to protect one actor and left the other actor. I think that in the future when you seen the motion that like this or even like similar like this, at least try to see from another perspective, and also from another actor, in order to make your argument more into the spirit of the motion. So I think that's the only general comments. Now the ranks. I give first to closing government, second to opening opposition, third to opening government, and lastly, unfortunately, to closing opposition. Wait, I'm going to write it first. Right, that's the ranks. Now into the reason. I will explain why CO lower than OG. I think that I have three reasons for this. First, let's see what CO brings in this debate. CO brings basically that this is going to exploit that woman because when this getting normalized, they're going to do this for money, and there is a lot of parties that going to exploit them, and basically telling that consent is not going to achieve in their cases. But unfortunately, what OG bring in this debate is basically saying at the very beginning that the one or the individual that doing sugar dating, the woman that is going to do sugar dating is already consent enough to do this. So I think that the argument about exploitation that happened because of like another parties and also the consent that's not going to be achieved at the very beginning. It's tackled by opening government, because opening government told you very clearly that this dating is consent on both parties. And I think that second reason, even when there is an exploitation at the end of the day, that in opening government, it is still better. Why? Because in opening government, they're saying that with this normalization, it's going to good because people can speak up when they get exploitation, and when they get exploited by the sugar mommy, or even by the rich people itself, they can like easily to speak up without even like scared about getting judged by the society. Now, if I compare this to closing opposition, the question that still appear in closing opposition and not answered by them is the fact that sugar dating is also exists in their side. The problem is right now when this exploitation happen, what is the counter mechanism, or even like what is the solution that provided by closing opposition to like actually prevent this? Comparing to opening government actually telling us, or telling you guys, that if exploitation happen in their side, at least people, or even like this sugar baby, can speak up because they shouldn't scared about the judgment from the society. But last reason why I give OG higher than closing opposition is about the argument of benefit of the money itself. I think that OG is successfully saying that the money that the sugar baby get from the sugar by sugar from sugar dating itself, it can increase it can increase the life of the individual, of the relative of the sugar baby itself. Example, their family that can get more money to go to the university and those kind of things. And in closing opposition, they said that I think that in closing opposition, the problem is their argument is only about negative case. That's saying that the sugar dating is bad because this is going to be this is bad for the parents itself, because parents' job is actually need to provide the family and those kind of things, and also bad for women because women going to compete for the sugar daddy itself, and also like for the country itself. I think this only goes into the negative argument without telling the positive one. Why when we're not normalize the sugar dating, this is going to be benefit for what? For the woman itself, or even like for the sugar mommy or sugar daddy itself. I think that there is no that kind of argument. So the benefit so in terms of benefit itself, I more the benefit that coming from opening government about this money can improve the life of the surroundings of the sugar baby still exists. And the question in closing opposition is, what will happen to the relative of this sugar baby, or even like what will happen, or what is the benefit that is going to get from this sugar baby relatives comparing to opening government. They said that the benefit, they will improve their life. In closing opposition, I don't see why then this is why this is not happen, or even like why this is going to be harm them. Even there's no that kind of argument. I give that, with that reason I give opening government higher than closing opposition. But now why opening government is lower than opening opposition, or why upper than OG? I think that I have two reasons for this. First, that what opening government bring. Before that, what opening government bring is debate. Opening government basically saying that the money that the sugar baby get from sugar dating stuff, it can improve the life of the relatives of the womb of the sugar baby stuff, and also going to help people in underprivileged area, or even like people who live in poverty, to increase their life, and basically improving their life. And also like second, they bring about feminism, although that this is not like this is not a complete argument, but I'm still going to count this when they saying that in feminism this is going to be better because the woman itself this is better for the education of the woman itself, because they can get money to benefit them, or even like to the money can use in for their education and those kind of things. Now, what opening opposition bring in this debate? Opening opposition saying that basically, first, about exploitation. Second, about why this normalization is bad. First, they say about exploitation. They say that this is going to this sugar dating term itself, or the sugar dating practice itself, is first, it is goes to the personal gain itself, and make people and make younger people doing something that they doing make younger people doing everything, or basically do what make women doing everything for women itself. And second, they said that this normalization is bad because this is going to make people becoming lazy. Example, they're not going to prioritize their job, like when there is job vacancy, they're not going to apply to this because they think that becoming a sugar baby is far more benefit rather than rather than having job in company and those kind of things. Now let's compare this. I do believe that I agree. I agree, and also I appreciate opening government argument about this money can benefit the surrounding of the sugar baby itself, and also benefit people who live in underprivileged area to get to basically to improving their life. But comparing to opening opposition, I think that opening opposition bring a more harm of the sugar dating itself. What is the harm itself? They're going to say that they saying that with this sugar dating practice, this is going to make people becoming lazy, and even like at the end of the day, this is going to make people not applying to the job vacancy that, or even like not prioritize job in like in company or those kind of things, because they think that becoming a sugar baby is far more beneficial rather than that. I think that this is a bit close, but when I weighing this, I think that the problem with opening government, when opening opposition telling this argument about how this is going to make people lazy, is the fact that if this money that coming from the sugar dating itself is going to be benefit the surrounding itself, the question is with opening opposition argument. The question that exists in opening government argument when opening opposition giving this argument is, why then the people the relatives of the sugar baby are going to pursue an education, because the fact that they seen that there is a sugar baby and the relative is becoming sugar baby and get more money rather than another worker, why then at the end of the day they're still going to prioritize their education, or even like prioritize to get a job or improving their life rather than becoming sugar baby itself? I think that is the problem that exists in opening government argument when opening opposition telling the argument about why then this is going to be make why this is going to make people lazy. I think that also at the same time, opening government not trying to respond to this argument. Although I do agree that this argument about people becoming lazy is clear in the second speaker of open opposition, but at least opening government can try to engage by giving POI. But I think there is no POI, or even like if there is no POI that is accepted by the deputy itself, I think that the argument about people becoming lazy and new question that exists in opening government about why then people still going to prioritize their education or even like their jobs rather than becoming a sugar baby is exists. And basically opening opposition argument about people becoming lazy is still exist. It still stand until the end of opening debate. But second, I think that in terms of feminism argument, I think that opening opposition successfully saying that with this sugar dating, if sugar dating getting normalized, this is going to throw a feminism value about this is going to throw feminism this is going to throw feminism value, because at the end of the day, women going to be seen as an object from this sugar dating practice that is also linked with their argument about exploitation, on how people at the end of the day going to do these kind of things because they do for money and basically make people lazy at the end of the day. I think that this argument also tackle opening government argument about why this is going to be good for the woman itself. Basically, the value of the feminism itself is the argument about feminism itself is more clear in opening opposition. And when I like weighing this argument to the opening government, I think that this more the reason for in terms of the feminism perspective is far more clear in opening opposition. I think with that reason, I give OO higher than OG. But last one, CG with OO. Why I give CG higher than OO? I think that first between CG and OO, it's close for me because to be honest, I don't see I don't see there is much of engagement towards each other, and I think that second one is their argument is not in the same line. It's not bad, but I think that it's really hard for me to judge it, to be honest. But the reason why I give CG higher than OO, I think that in terms of exclusivity. Why? In my general comments, I told you that this debate is needed is needed for you as a team to prioritize a lot of actors in this debate because to be honest, if I want to tell you, the actor is not only the woman but also the man who become a sugar baby. Second, the sugar mommy, and also the last one is the sugar daddy itself. In opening opposition, although that they successfully saying that this is going to be bad because people going to be lazy and also they're not going to pursue the education because they think that it is far more better for them to be a sugar baby. I think that but at the end of the day, I think that opening opposition only playing in the case of the sugar baby itself, whether it is man or woman. But in closing government, they at least trying to prove to you why this is also going to be okay or why this is going to be benefit for the sugar mommy or even like sugar daddy itself. Why? What is the example? I think that when closing government telling the argument about how this is going to be the stress relief for the sugar daddy or even like sugar mom itself, and second, how this is going to give an exchange to to both parties and benefit both parties at the end of the day. But other than that, let's try to compare this. I think that other than exclusivity, I think that another reason why I give closing government upper than opening opposition is in terms of choices itself. I think that in closing in opening opposition, the thing that become a problem in opening opposition is about how then this is going to make people become lazy, right? But in closing government, I think that they successfully respond to this by saying that it is okay at the end of the day because it is going to be benefit on both sides. Why? Because in sugar baby perspective itself, it is benefit them because they can get money or even they can get they can get an exchange in from this relationship, and it is going to be benefit them. But in the perspective of the sugar mommy and sugar daddy itself, this is also going to be benefit them because this is giving them stress relief or even like this can like giving them a lot of things that actually going to be benefit for them. And even like closing government telling us in the worst case scenario where these individuals or like the sugar the individual from the sugar dating itself become addicted, we shouldn't like taking this as a big problem because this is an individual case, and the fact that both of them is consent in this relationship is actually telling it's actually like a point about why then this normalization should be done. Comparing to opening opposition again, I think that in terms of the choices itself, although that opening opposition saying that this is going to make people lazy or those kind of things, but at the end of the day, when I compare it with closing government, I see that this problem is neutralized by the statement or even by the argument that saying that this is actually fine because it is the choice of the individual itself. And also, not to mention about the feminism argument, right? In closing government, they did saying that it is actually in line with the feminism goal, because the goal of the feminism itself to make women have control of their own body. So comparing to the comparing to the opening opposition again, because opening opposition also brought an argument about feminism. Opening opposition saying that this is throwing the value of feminism, and closing government saying that this is actually in line with the goal of feminism. I think when I compare this also, I think that although okay, if I say that I agree with opening opposition by that saying that this is throwing the value of the feminism itself, but at the end of the day, but at the same time, CG successfully respond this by saying that no, this is actually not throwing the value of feminism, because this is what feminism want, which is women have control of the body. Because this relationship or this sugar dating practice is actually need consent of the sugar baby itself. The reason why sugar baby becoming sugar baby because they consent to this. And I think that in terms of choices and also the exclusivity, I give CG higher than OO because of the choices, the right itself. I don't see. I think like this. The moment that CG telling their argument about choices, the question that appear in opening opposition, why then becoming a lazy is going to be a big problem if this is their choice to become a sugar baby. I think like that. Now the last one, why I give CO fourth and why I give CG first. I think the reason I give CO fourth is because CO is not following the flow of the debate itself. If you notice that in opening debate, they're talking about they're talking about their argument is basically in the perspective. I think that all of the team is agree on one thing, that sugar dating is need a consent on both parties. So the debate that set in opening debate or even in closing government itself is the debate that consent shouldn't be a problem at the very beginning. But the problem with closing opposition is that they giving an argument where consent is where consent is still becoming a problem. Although that okay, if I want to be fair, that okay, if I can count your consent argument as an argument, but the problem is another three team is already preempt this consent problem by saying that this sugar dating practice is need a consent, and people who doing this is actually consented to this. So your point about consent, or even like your point about how this is going to be impact the family when they're seeing their family when they're seeing their their daughter or their son becoming sugar baby is still it's not like it's I think when you telling your argument about that, but in other hand, most of all of the team is already agree on the consent that on the argument that sorry on the what is called like on the setup that consent should not become a problem. I think that their argument is I think I couldn't find a way to counter argument as relate argument to the debate itself. I think that with that reason I'm unfortunately CO got fourth. But last one, why CG win? I think I already told you in CG reasoning, right? CG is the only team that CG is the only team that bring exclusivity towards another actor. I think that this debate is not only focusing on the woman or even like the sugar baby itself, but rather to need to focus on the sugar baby, sugar daddy or even like sugar mom itself. Why sugar dating praktek is important for the sugar mommy or the sugar daddy stuff. What is we need to see the perspective from them. I think that those perspective is brought by closing government. And unfortunately for other teams, I don't see any any clear reasoning or even any clear argument that try to represent the other perspective or like the sugar daddy or sugar mommy perspective, because most of you guys other than CG is try to prove why this is okay for women or whether or not this is okay or not for the women stuff. I think that with that reason, I put CG upper than everyone. Lastly, I think that I do believe that my oral is not that perfect because because I dikejar waktu lah basically. So you can reach me through through my WhatsApp to get a better like reasoning on that on my reason. Sorry, on my result. And also if you guys want like personal feedback, I can give it to you. Yeah, if you like contact me privately through WhatsApp. I think that's my oral dedication. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Kak. We appreciate it so much, and good luck with your dosen.
Good luck. Yeah.
If there is no other option, just being a sugar baby.
By the way, guys, you can contact me privately ya kalau misalnya mau personal feedback. I think aku akan leave sekarang because I need to do my project. I think that personal feedback akan aku kasih paling lama besok sore ya. Thank you guys for inviting me dan kapok inviting me again, okay? Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kak. Appreciate it. Good luck.